Welcome back to the channel. The weather in New Jersey has gotten pretty cold over the last week. We got 3 inches of snow a week ago, an inch of snow just the other night, and we're expected to get another inch today. So I'm going to start winterizing the Corvette. So first I'm going to go over some battery tenders. So I wanted to bring this inside. It's a little chilly outside. It's about 20 degrees today. The other day it was actually, with the wind chill, it was down into the single digits. So for December, that's actually kind of cold here in New Jersey. We normally don't get really cold weather until like middle of January into February, and we probably don't get a lot of our snow until about that time as well. So I'm really not all that prepared yet, as far as, getting my car ready for the winter, ready to store it up at my parents' house. They have a garage, so just wanted to keep it out of the weather. This is just a small little clip on my commute into work today. You can see how coated the roads are with salt. So I'm not going to bore you with the details on how these work, but basically they just maintain your battery's voltage when you're storing the car. So if you're not going to drive the car for a few weeks, you have two options. You can either disconnect your battery, or you can put a battery tender on the car. Now, since there might be a few times here and there where I could potentially, not drive the car for a few weeks, I just wanted to do a battery tender because I just wanted to, just connect it, get in the car and drive. I don't want to worry about, reconnecting the battery or anything like that. This makes it nice and simple, easy. I can just get in and go. Now, if you don't do either one of these options, you do run the risk of your battery dying on you, and therefore you're going to have to jump start your battery. Now, too many jump starts will ruin your battery, and you're going to have to go buy a new one. Getting a battery tender that's, $16 could lengthen your battery, a few years. So I picked up these two battery tenders off Amazon. I'm going to leave a link in the description for both of them. I was originally going to go with the Battery Tender Junior, but I believe in the end I'm actually going to go with the Black and Decker. There's two primary reasons why, but first I'll just go into what's in each one. The Battery Tender Junior is, it recharges your battery at 3/4 of an amp. The Black and Decker actually does it at 1.2 amps. So this one is a little bit beefier. Both of them come with alligator clips to make a quick connection to your battery. Even though the directions for both say don't connect the positive to the positive post on your battery and the negative to the negative post, they want you to put this to a ground, to the chassis ground, just as a safety precaution. And then they also come with a more permanent installation for ring terminals. Like I said, both come with these, but the one thing that the Black and Decker separates itself from the Battery Tender Junior is that it comes with a cigarette lighter attachment. Now, the Battery Tender Junior also, you can buy one, but it's about $7 or $8, something like that. This was on Amazon. The Black and Decker was on Amazon for $16, and I think the Battery Tender Junior was $25. So once you add in the cigarette lighter adapter for the battery tender, it's double the price of what the Black and Decker is. So this makes connecting the battery tender a lot easier. You don't have to fiddle around with connecting anything to to your battery or to the ground, to your chassis ground or anything like that. It's a simple connection. Just connects right into your cigarette lighter. Now, another positive for the Black and Decker is on the unit itself, it comes with the availability of doing a 12 volt or a 6 volt battery system. So, if you have 12 volts, you can have it there, or if you do have a 6 volt battery system, you can just flip that switch over. Now, both units are simple to connect to the battery tender themselves. Whether you do the cigarette lighter attachment, you do the rigging terminal, or you do the quick connection with the clamps, they all have this quick connect on the end of each attachment. Now, this attachment will plug. You see, this is the wire from the battery tender itself. So, you can't, go backwards, on your polarity when you do this. So it makes that connection a lot quicker and a lot easier. Now both come with this nice attachment. Now let's go back out to the car and I'll show you how to use the cigarette lighter adapter to connect the battery tender. Now here we are back in the car. I have my cigarette lighter adapter that I will plug into the cigarette lighter and we'll get started. Now of course it started to snow outside, but whether you do use your cigarette lighter, you use the clamps for your battery, or you use the ring connectors, you first want to have this attachment connected, and then you want to attach this connector to your battery tender itself. Now once you have that connected, you can just go to your battery tender. Like I said, I'm going to be using the Black and Decker one. I'm going to switch that over to 12 volts, and then you can just plug this in to your outlet. In my case, I'm just doing it temporarily with an extension cord. Once I do bring this up to my parents' house, I will be plugging this into a receptacle that's inside the garage. But for now, I'm just going to be using an extension cord. Now, once you have your extension cord, once you plug this in, you're going to see your battery tender is going to start to blink. Now, the blinking means that the battery's charging. Even though the car will start right now, it's probably just a little bit below, the required voltage, for the battery tender to shut off. So once it gets to the proper voltage, then that blinking green light will turn to a solid green, and then your battery will be maintained at that level. This will turn on and off, provide power back and forth to the battery as needed to keep that battery fully charged. Now, to disconnect your battery tender, it's going to go in the opposite direction of how you put it together, or how you plugged it all together. You don't want to pull the DC away from, from any of the connectors here. You first want to unplug your AC source. So go ahead and unplug that, and then you can go ahead and you can unplug everything else. So in my case, I'm going to pull out the cigarette lighter, and then you're good to go. Now, like I said before, I'm going to be winterizing the car to get it ready to put in my parents' garage. This is just step one, is getting the battery tender. To follow, I'm going to be doing an oil change and just giving the car a decent clean. I'm not going to go crazy with a foam cannon or anything like that, but just going to give it another little wash before I put it away into my parents' garage. Thank you for watching. If you liked the video, please give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe. Have a good day.